Yes, it's Brother Ira coming back at you again with another video, another lesson. And I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahawashi, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akim and the brothers out here doing this truth, risking their life, showing their faith, and waking up the hopeful elect. And I like to get into the scripture. And this is it's gonna be about a vision I had. It was probably like 2 weeks ago. And I had a vision on seeing Yahawashi, man, and that was a beautiful dream. And before I get into the testimony, I'm gonna get some precepts on it first, right? And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servant and on my handmaidens, I will pour out of those days on my spirit, and they shall prophesy. So boom. So here we go. So the vision I had of Yahawashi, man, that was a beautiful dream I had, man. You know, I was asleep, had to go to work the next day, you know what I'm saying? And then the dream, man, it was crazy how it happened, man. It was just like it just came out of nowhere, and it was like I was in a dark room. But where it looked like I was on a chariot though, because when I looked around, I seen other brothers around. Maybe it was the angels. It looked like they was piloting the chariot, but it was like in a dark room. So he stepped up to me in all white garment. You know what I'm saying? It looked just like how those AI art pictures that brothers be doing, but his hair, he didn't have no big, long, crazy afro and nothing like that. He had a real, I'm going to show you. I'm going to see if I can go in my photos and find it to show you what it looked like. He actually looked like this. His hair was short like this. He was dark skinned, had a beard like that. And, everything had on a white garment on, whatever. He was dark skinned, man. And I asked him, it's just like he just walked up to me and he hugged me. I said, your name, I said, you Yahawashi? And he smirked at me with a smile, like, yup. And then he gave me a hug, man. And then he just told me, he said, I like that phone. He said, I like that. It was like I was standing in a military, like a military stand, like how you the soldiers line up in the military form, like soldier stance. And he was like, yeah, I like that stance right there. He said, hold that right there. I like that. Keep that stance. Keep that. So when I told a brother about this dream, he was telling me, he said he interpreted that dream for me. He said, what that probably was saying? He was just saying, stay firm in what you're doing. Hold strong, Don't move like in this walk. Like he liked that. He said, stay in that. Stay strong in this walk. That's how I took it. And then he told me like to lift my hand out, and I lift my hand out. He came up beside me, and it's like he was giving me power, like energy. He was giving me more, like maybe he was just pouring more faith on me. And you know what I'm saying? But the dream happened so fast, it was like real quick, and it's like then I started dreaming about other stuff. Then I woke up, and that was like a real quick, powerful dream right there, man. That he actually came to me. In the night before that, like that same night, I prayed that to show me a vision, show me anything, I prayed on that, and I was expecting that. He came to me. He looked exactly like how this picture looked. His hair was short like this. He was dark skinned. He had a beard. His beard was that length. And I looked at to him. I said, "You Yahawashi?" And he gave me like a smile. And he shook his head at me. He like, "Yup." He said, "Yup." And then he gave me a hug, man. I couldn't believe what I was dreaming when I seen that. That was beautiful. And you know what I'm saying? So when I woke up, man, I had to tell the brother, man, about that, man. That was a powerful dream right there, man. He looked exactly like how this picture looked right here. Exactly like this. Because I remember some years back, the Ephraimite sister said she had a dream about Yahawashi coming back, and he was killing everybody. And I know, pretty sure everybody's seen that video. And he said his hair was short, like a fraud. You know what I'm saying? He had real short hair. And it's the way she described, that's the way I look. That's how he looked in the dream. That's how he looked right there on this picture to me. He looked exactly like that, And I was like, wow, man, and that was a good faith booster for me, man. And I'm gonna get some scriptures on that, man, So, right? because he, you know, he's coming to save his elect, man. I just hope and pray that I'm of that number, man. You know what I'm saying? Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 7. For the multitude of dreams and many words, they are also diverse vanities, but fear Yahweh. So, you know, when you go on that word vanity, let's go get that word vanity. Vanity. Ecclesiastes 5, 7. Let's get into the blue letter. Ecclesiastes. Vanities. So this is gonna be a dual video. You know, hit on some hit on visions what I saw. You know, then I'm getting some prophecies.
Strong's H, 1892. Hevel. Hevel.
Habel. So it's a vapor. It means vapor, breath, vapors, vanity. Right. So it's like dreams are like they vanish. Like it's a phantom. You know. So some dreams is nothing. Some dreams is really just a dream. It don't mean anything. But this dream was a vision, man. The Lord, the Yahawashi came to me, man, and showed himself to me, you know, and smiled, man, you know, and gave me a hug. In that dream, man, I felt like, in that dream, man, I felt like a little kid, like a little baby. You know how a baby feel when you first meet your father, and you just get all googly, you know, and happy, and it's like I couldn't move. It's like my body and my spirit was subjected to him, man. It was just like now I'm finally seeing my father, like, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like my spirit was automatically in subjection to him. It was like I was like I ain't had no control on my body, man. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was willing to do whatever he told me to do, like right at the drop of a dime, man. When he told me to stay still, and he said I like that position, he said keep it like that, don't move. When he told me that, I didn't move. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to get it straight. Like I was trying to be in the straight formation. Like you know how in the military when they stand in the formation, and he was like, I like that, stay right that. But like when I had shared this with a brother, he told me, he interpreted kind of for me. He told me, he said that's basically telling you stand firm in this truth, man. He said you like that, continue to do what you're doing, stand strong, don't move, don't let nobody take you out your spot. And then he told me to put my arms out. He stand beside me. He told me he stuck his hand out, and I stuck my hands out. It's like he was giving me, I see like some lightning hit me. It's like he was giving me more energy, you know? And then the dream just went to another dream, you know? And it was just like, that was beautiful, man. But it was like when I seen him, man, it was just like my whole body just froze up. And it's like I was happy, man. It was like I was feeling good. Like I didn't want him to leave. I didn't want to leave from him. You know, just like I said, when you seen your dad for the first time, you know, when your mom let you go, when your mom let your dad to come see you to pick you up, and you go spend time with him, and this is your first time meeting him, you know, and it's like you just get happy, like, oh, it's my father. Like you would just like, and it's like I turned to a baby again instantly when I seen him. It's like I turned back into a kid, you know. And that was beautiful to me, man. That dream right there was awesome. You know, using the word of the white boys, but you know, book of Acts chapter 2 verse 17, and it shall come to pass the last day, saith Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit on all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. See, you know. Your old man says she dream dreams, man. You know, I'm like up in age. I'm 49, you know, and I'm here to prophesy and tell you the dreams that I had, right? You know, you know. right? Because sometimes dreams people have is false dreams, false divinations, right? When you get Jeremiah 23:32, behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their light of likeness. Yet I sent them not, nor command them, therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith the Lord. That's going to these false pastors, man, in these churches, man, you know. Because they'll say, yeah, the Lord sent me a dream that he told me this is your day, you know, telling our people lies, man. The Lord didn't send them. You know, then you got these false camps like IUIC, IUSPK, and, you know, Guerrilla Hebrew in them. They gave them false divination. The Lord didn't send them. You know what I'm saying? He didn't send them. If you notice, they don't never give you nothing spiritual about Yahawashi visited them. They never seen no chariots, man. You know, that show you that the Lord ain't dealing with them, you know. And I used to be a part of IUIC at one point in time, man, you know. But that was a while ago. I'm glad I left. I'm glad Yahweh took me up out of there, man. You know, because when I realized that the truth ain't with them, man. They ain't got it, you know. The spirit don't lie with them. They real carnal, you know. You know, so that dream that I had was mad powerful of Yahawashi, man. Now I'm gonna get into some prophecies, you know, and I had to share that with you. And share that vision with you, but then we're gonna get on some of these other dreams about the tariffs going on with Donald Trump. Hold on. Right? So yeah, you know. So yeah. So let's get it, you know, some prophecies. All right. Trump sets 90% tariff rates on packages from China used by Shin and Temu. Live updates. This is CNBC live coverage of how the White House U.S. trade partners and employers are responding to the President Donald Trump historical tariffs. President Donald Trump tariffs will go into effect at midnight tonight, including an expected 104% tariffs on China. U.S. Customs and Borders Protection said it is prepared to begin collective country-specific tariffs from U.S. trade partners starting at 12:01 a.m. ET Eastern Time. U.S. markets sold off sharply this afternoon, heading into the midnight tariffs deadline. Tesla CEO Elon Musk is escalating his attacks on top Trump trade advisors Peter Navarro. The president says China wants to make a debt badly, but they don't know how to get it started. Former Commerce Secretary Carlos Gutierrez says the U.S. and China are in a full-blown trade war. Newly confirmed U.S. Trade Representative James Greer testified before the Senate Finance Committee at the hearings on the President of 2025 Trade Policies Agenda. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen say the EU is willing to negotiate with the U.S. on tariffs, yet is also preparing to retaliate. Two billionaires, Trump backer Ken Langone and Ken Griffin, are furious about the tariffs. See? Man, so everything is going to be jacked up, your food prices and all this. So Donald Trump, man, he's trying to like collapse this money, man. Because I think what it said, June 9th, June 6th, they're going to come with the digital. So all this is done on purposely. So he do this to tax these countries on imports so he can, so they can jack up their stuff on America. And then so they can, so what he's trying to do, he's trying to collapse the dollar, man, you know. And so they could bring in the MOTB. Like, so let's go into what terrorist means. All right. So tariffs are tax on stuff that is imported from other countries. Companies have to pay taxes to the government of whatever country they're sending their items to. Okay, see? The terms. A simple terms of tariffs is a tax that country government impose on goods imported from other countries, essentially raising the price of those goods, protect the domestic industries and potential rises of revenue. Here are most details explanation. What it is. A tariff is a tax of duty levied on goods imported from another country. What exists? Tariffs can make foreign goods more expensive, encouraging consumers to buy locally produced goods, raising revenue. Government can use tariffs as a source of income. Influence in trade. Tariffs can be used to restrict imports and retaliate against other countries' trade policies. How they work. Important business pays tariffs to the government when the goods cross the borders. Tariff increase the prices of important goods, which can lead to higher prices of consumers. Tariffs can be set as a fix of purchase percentages of the value of the imports of aid adds and volumes of a fixed amount per unit of the imported goods specifics. Imports of tariffs or taxes on goods brought into the country. Export taxes on goods being exported from a country. So now all of this, so what they doing is weaponizing this. That's what Esau do. Everything he touches, man, he weaponized stuff, man, and he destroys, man. He's what you call the master of disaster. You know what I'm saying? Everything he touches, he's destroyed, man. This man he got to get taken out of the way, man. So by him doing this, and by him setting these tax on stuff on imported from other countries, that's gonna jack up prices. Now hyperinflation is gonna come, things are gonna be expensive. As you know, like I said, like they say, you paying $10, $5 on a loaf of bread, now you're gonna spend it 20. When you buy sneakers, Jordans, $100, you're gonna be paying $300. When you buy groceries, then they're about to play like $900, $600 on the groceries, $1,000 on the groceries, man. And then guess what? Gas is gonna be what? When you was paying $10, $20 to get a tank, now you're gonna be paying $50 to get a full tank. So therefore it's gonna cause everything to collapse, man. And then that's what they're gonna bring in that MOTB, man. Let's get some scriptures on that, man. The book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the beasts, or the four beasts, say, "Measure of the wheat and for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and sent thou hurt not the oil and the wine." And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast said, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pair of horse, and his name that sat on it, Death and Hell. So that's talking about Esau, Edom, man. And that black horse is going into what? Famine, right? So it's going to let's get that Revelation 6. All right, let's get that. Black horse, let's get the meaning, what that mean. They ain't gonna give it to you there, so let's go see what that. See, in Revelation 6, the black horse and its rider who holds the scales symbolize famine, a consequence of preceding war and conquest, represented by the white horse or the red horse. The black horse is a color itself often associated with scarcity and want of represent a desired condition of famine. So that goes into what? It's going to be a famine of food, because a lot of people ain't going to be able to afford to get these items to feed their family and feed themselves. So that's going to go into what? Chaos, man, right? Right? So the rider in the scale, the rider on the black horse is described as holding a pair of balances, a scale, which is a symbol of judgment and measurement, partially in the context of weighing food during the famine. See? Meaning, you're going to have to, people that can actually get it, they're going to have to be, portion out to the people, man, Some people ain't going to have enough to get food, and the food that they do get, they're going to have to portion out amongst themselves, right? The voice is heard saying a quart of wheat for a denarius and 3 quarts of a barley of denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine, indicating the extreme cost of basic necessities, with wheat and barley being scarce while oil and wine are spared, right? So, so the food that they get, they're going to have to measure it out, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to just, how back, in the day, like right now, you can go to a Walmart or a Wegmans or ShopRite, you know what I'm saying, and go get like $100 worth of food cart, a shopping cart full of food. But when the time comes, you ain't gonna be able to do that, man. So that's why we're gonna need the Yahawashi to protect this, man. Because these 2/3 and these other nations and so-called white men, his own people, they ain't gonna be able to do that. They're gonna starve to death. And that's where they're gonna come with the solution with the MOTB contest. The black horse appears after the white and red horse, just suggesting that the famine is a natural consequence of war and conquest, as the resources are destroyed and ability to produce food is disrupted. Yep. No more truck drivers delivering it to these grocery stores. No more ships coming in from cross seas, because why? The tariffs that Donald Trump is putting on these countries, it's on the trading war. So a lot of the stuff that they do trying to get, they're going to be taxed on it. So when by the time it get here, the price is going to be up. So a lot of our people ain't going to afford that. And China and these other nations that, America, that getting all these imports from, they're going to hold back on stuff, to cripple America. Because if America, ain't got no food, food brings strength. So if you ain't eating, that's going to cripple this country here. It's going to cripple Babylon and amen. So that's why when China and Russia invade this place, it's going to be an easy takeover, man. Right? For the 4 horsemen of apocalypse, the 4 horsemen, including the black horse, are seen as a progression of evil, with the black horse representing consequences of the preceding war and conquest, leading to famine and death. So it's going to be a whole lot of death, man. Right? Let's get some scriptures. And hold on. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, right? Because eventually, when this all goes down, a lot of people is going to try to rush and get everything that they can get, so it's going to be empty out here. And then plus, no more trucks, no more stuff is going to be imported in, man. So whatever food that we can get now, and that's it. And the food that they have left, they're going to harvest it, and that's going to force you to get the MOTB, right? Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. What's that trumpet? The prophets. We out here giving out that trumpet, man, of fear, death, and destruction. Now, as you can see, a lot of these, Esau Edom is in fear right now. These small hatters in fear. Now they're getting their own people, setting up AI videos and talking about being the Israelite, trying to discourage people for coming back to their true identity, right? Now we got our own people coming out against us, man, right? Because Esau Edom, he knows this is his last hurrah, man. He's done. So he is afraid because that trumpet is being blown throughout the world, man. He knows prophecies, and we are waking up, right? Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 24. At the time shall friends fight one against another, because why? Why friends are going to fight against each other? Because why? No food. You know what I'm saying? So what happened when people don't eat, man? People gonna turn into beasts. You seen back in 2020 when what was it? Popeyes and stuff like that ran out of chicken, and you see how people was flipping out. And what's that other chicken joint with the chicken sandwiches? I forgot, but motherfuckers fighting over chicken sandwiches, man. So if they doing that in that time, just imagine when this shit go full-fledged, off the chain with no food, no nothing, man. They gonna flip out, man, right? So at the same time shall friends fight one against another, like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear. So everybody's gonna be in fear. People ain't gonna know what's going on. People gonna be worrying. There's gonna be a lot of murders and killings and rape and ravaging. That they're gonna have to send the troops out here to get things back in order, and then they're gonna set a monetary pay system because Donald Trump said he's gonna bring in a digital currency, and then they're gonna tell you, okay, yeah, things gonna get back to normal. Whatever how they do it, they might start it on the phones. You might have to get it on your phone first, and then before they move to the chip, but they're gonna be monitoring and tracking out what you can buy, what you can sell, right? So foods might be issued out to you by portions, man. You might be able to go buy a whole grocery store a cart full of food this time around, right? But and then they're gonna force you to take that chip. And a lot of people, like the brother brought up earlier today, I was watching a lesson when he said that a lot of these cats out here gonna get chips in them and still be out here rioting and fighting when they can't feed. Because Esau Edom he still might turn on them and don't feed you, or you might not be able to get the food like how you want to get it, and you got the chip. You know what I'm saying? And you still gonna have to be limited on what you can buy or whatever, how much you can buy every day. Right now you can go to the store 2-3 times in one day if you want to go buy food. But in that time, you ain't gonna be able to do it like that. They might portion it out to you, and that's it. And a lot of people gonna sell their soul out just to do that, man. They're gonna play themselves, and the Lord gonna kill them. Especially 2/3 of our people, and these black women, right? It started again. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 24. At the time shall friend fight one against another, like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and therein the spring of the fountain shall stand still, and the 3 hours they shall not run. Ooh, so everything is gonna be hold still. Businesses and all that, it's not gonna be running. Everything's gonna shut down. That that water's going into the work, you know what I'm saying? Right? Just like, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. That's talking about that's talking about Esau. So that's talking about the 1/3. Whoever should escape all these, right? To see the end of the world. That's why let's get that scriptures that you're just gonna see the ending of your destruction of your enemies. Hold on, let's get one more. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 26. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth. So some of us is not going to perish, man. Some of us going to get delivered and get right into immortality. Some brothers a lot might get their head chopped off for the namesake of Yahawashi, because that's their lot. Some of us ain't going to see death. Let's read it again. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 26. And then men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from the birth, and the hearts of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. What? Immortality, man. We're going to be kings out here, priests, right? Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched, right? Because how it's going to be quenched with that nuclear fire. And then you got the mighty angels with the chariots, what you call the UFOs. They're going to be zapping and burning this place. And deception, all that, this man power going to be put out, man. The wicked elite's going to be brought down. All these other tribes, man, and all these other Edomites is done. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 28. As for faith, it shall flourish, and corruption shall be overcome. And the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared. So now, what we doing right now, people don't see no fruits from it. But after a while, the corruption shall be overcome, and the truth gonna be declared, man. People gonna see the fruits when the Lord stop blessing us. You know what I'm saying? Start seeing us. You know what I mean? Getting blessed, and all this wickedness coming, and then when we get caught up in those chariots, let's get Isaiah 65. Let's get that. The book of Isaiah chapter 6. Book of Isaiah chapter 65, verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. So the Lord said he's going to bow. He said all these people that's outside of this truth, they ain't following Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Holy Father Yahweh, they're going to be numbered to the sword. So some people gonna be getting numbered to what? Getting put at concentration camp, getting tortured and murdered, getting shot down by these troops, or some of these militia troops dying of civil war, or these race riots, or starvation. Those are some of the slaughers that they're gonna be numbered to, or getting attacked by wild beasts, because there's gonna be a lot of these wild beasts gonna be out here as well, man. Because some people gonna be homeless, ain't gonna have nowhere to go. They're going to have to fled through the woods because why? The UN troops going to be out here. The martial law troops going to be raiding. So they're going to be trying to escape for their lives, man. And a lot of them going to be straggling out here, man. And then guess what? A lot of them are going to get shot down. They're going to get attacked by these bears or wolves, coyotes, or even lions. Because guess what? Them animals are going to get out those zoos, man. So starvation is going to be one of the Lord's swords too, right? The book of Isaiah chapter 65, verse 12. Therefore I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. 2/3 and the other nations are gonna bow down to the slaughter, man. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear. So when we out there in the highways and byways, they walk past us. We ask them, yo, you an Israelite? The Lord is gonna deliver you. Repent, cause destruction come. Oh, nowhere. I'm saved. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. They walk past. Some people just walk, don't say nothing. They ignore us, man. So, so the Lord said, hey, man, y'all gonna be numbered to the sword, man. That said, the scripture said, the foolish walketh by, and they are destroyed. They are perished, right? So, they're gonna walk past and be destroyed, right? They said, with the simple walketh past and they are destroyed, right? That's going into that. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delight not. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat. So he said, behold, his servants, who? The hopeful elect, man, right? The prophets, one out here on the highways and byways, putting in for the Yahawashi. He said, we're going to eat, man, right? Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed, right? A lot of y'all going to be ashamed, man, because why? When we eating, when y'all was rejoicing, having fun, going out to vacations, high expensive vacations, voluptuous vacations, and doing your thing, worry about getting the bag, getting your businesses, doing all of that. Y'all was living good, man, Especially the black woman talking big shit. Oh, fuck these niggas, and we don't need a man. I don't need a man. The Lord is blessing me. And you sitting there here popping, locking it on, busting it open on Instagram and Facebook and talking about the Lord blessing you. OnlyFans and the Lord blessing you. The Lord ain't blessing you, man. Satan is blessing you. And the Lord got something for you all, man. And a lot of these fucking knucklehead women got kids, and they gonna watch their kids fucking starve, man. Right? And a lot of these women gonna get ravaged too. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. A lot of y'all gonna be ashamed. Y'all gonna see us rejoicing and eating and having abundance, and y'all gonna be ashamed. Y'all gonna really see the fruits of our labor while we was out there in the highways and byways, man, and doing what we doing, risking our lives, making our body living sacrifice, man, for the Lord, right? And then when all hell break loose, y'all gonna see us get, the Lord pay, cashing out on our work. Let's get that. Slacky, hold on. All right. Right, the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 20. But lay up for yourselves treasure in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where your thieves do not break through nor steal. Right? Verse 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also, right? So the Lord has told us to store up our treasures with him. So no moth and no thief, no robber can steal it, man. So while we out here doing the works and studying, meditating on the Lord, watching videos, fasting out in the highways and byways, man, that's how storing and doing our right and living our life and walking in these law, statute, commandments, keeping our conduct. The Lord going to store, we storing up our treasures with the Yahawashi Yahshua, man, with Yahweh. So when that time comes, we're going to cash out, man. We're going to get blessed. He's going to feed us. He's going to make sure we eat. He's going to make sure we're taken care of. Wow. When you go to Revelation chapter 3, let's get it. Right, the book of Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? When you go into patience, that's going to suffering. We kept the word. How? We out there in the highways and byways, man. We going through our walk, man. We bearing our cross, man. We suffering, man. So the Lord said, because thou kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So the hour of temptation is what? Right, let's get it. Revelation. Let's get it. Hold on. Book of Revelation 13, verse 16. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the name and of the beast on the number of his name, right? See? So that mark of the beast, now that's what's gonna cause people to go take it, man. Because that's the hour of temptation he's gonna keep us from. So we keeping his patience, we doing what we supposed to do. The Lord gonna protect us. He's gonna make sure we don't fold on that. You know what I'm saying? That's why Isaiah 65 and 13, he said, my servant shall eat. We gonna eat, man. That's how he's gonna keep us from the hour of temptation, man. Right? Because if you don't have that mark on your forehead, on your right hand, you're not gonna be able to take part in the new world order, man. You're not gonna be able to go to the grocery store. And like I said, man, it's no guarantee that you're gonna eat regardless. Cause this the devil, man. The scripture said, never trust thy enemy, man. And then the penalty is Revelation 14 and 9 to 10. The book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9 and 10. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his head, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the Holy One, the angels, and the presence of the Lamb. Verse 11, and smoke and the torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or nor night, who worship the beast, his image, and whosoever receive the mark of his name. In verse 12, here is the patience of the saints. Here are that keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the faith of Yahawashi, right? Because we're gonna have the name, the faith out. That faith is going out to the highways and byways. That's one of his. That's a commandment for us to go out and do, man, and living our life righteously, man. And doing what we supposed to do, man, obeying the Lord, man, and not taking that mark of the beast is a commandment, man. Nate. Because he said the chipper ain't the beast. But Nate, man, you bugging, man. Right? So whoever takes that, man, Revelation 14 and 9 and 10 is for those that's going to take it, man. Right? Let's get Zechariah. Right? Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Right? He said 2/3 of our people gonna be cut off and die, man. They're gonna be burned up, man. They're gonna be burned up. Let's get that. This is gonna be the penalty of taking the MOTB. The book of 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with the great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Verse 11, right? 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation of godliness? What's the conversation? What's the conversation, man? Out prophesying against this wicked place and warning our people about the MOTB and what's coming, man, and what Esau Edom and his wicked least is trying to do, man. That's the holy conversation that the Lord must have, man. That's gonna keep us from that, right? Let's get one more, then we're gonna end it with a video. My bad. Sorry. Shalak, hold on. we go. The book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 11. Man shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. Verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouth. Right? So that's going into what? Right? Let's get that video. We're going to end it with this video right here coming. The hell? Oh, this? Get out of here.
Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free. Plus, get your biggest refund. File.
Oh, Shalakia. There we go. That's how it's going to look. Fair use.
Let's try this one. Hey! There we go.
That's what happened. We'll take that mark of the beast, man. Until you think this is that punishment. Revelation 14, 9% right here. Zechariah 14, 9, 10 right here, too. Zechariah 14, chapter. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. That's it. Let's get it one more time. Zephaniah chapter 14. Zechariah chapter 14. Verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord shall smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. That's it right there, man. That was right there. Awad Bashem Yahawashi Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone. And shalom to the brothers and the Akim out here doing this truth, risking their life. This is Brother Ira. And on to the next.